Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today we will be answering a nonverbal reasoning test involving sequence. You can see the test link in the description. It's from Math Center Community Project, and they also happen to provide lots of learning materials and practice tests like this. Now, let's proceed. We are going to determine what comes next in the sequence. We have 4 sets of figures, and based on that, we should be able to determine what's the 5th one. This type of test is pretty common in most nonverbal exams, and the first thing I would do here is to just look at it and look for visible patterns between each set of figures, like this one. Also, noticing it would make us also realize that all other figures use the same pattern. If you are not fond of visible patterns, we can also examine closely each of the shapes. Let's start with this partially shaded triangle. It's the first figure here, but on the second set, it comes down one level below. We can say the same thing for the other figures, and when it comes to the last one, it transitions back to the top, forming a complete set. This pattern is repeated again to set number 3, and then to number 4. With those techniques in mind, we can figure out where the partially shaded triangle will appear next, as well as the other shapes, thus completing the set. Now, let's go to the second item. Comparing with the first one, this is a bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, you'll realize that it's just the same. Now, we are still presented with 5 sets of figures, only this time, the third one is missing. First, let's examine the other 4. We can see that the first columns are all the same, so we can safely assume that it's also the same for the third one. Now let's go to the second column. Notice the double zeros here. Like in the first item before, the numbers here are also moving one level per set, only this time it's moving one level up. You can also clearly see that it's the same pattern used by the third and fourth column. Using the same method as the first item, we can easily answer this one. Also, please do be careful, as it's not always the column. Sometimes it's the row, or even the whole set itself is changing. If you are enjoying this video or found it useful, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Now, for the last item in this video, I want you to comment below your answer and let's see if you can get it right. Just a piece of advice. Figures in this item have their own patterns, unlike the first 2 before. This concludes the video. See you in the next one.